he was going out for blood off of Manny's face. So all the smoke clears, dust settles. Manny does the prototypical. I'm sorry. Got to put this behind me.
It was a very stupid thing. I should learn from this.
Yeah, I'm stupid. I'll grow as a player and as a man because of this. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah. He's been doing anything but jumping around this year the way his offense has been going, but we'll get to that later. The big kind of underlying story that a lot of people in the media are noticing, especially working with WNST and my man Nestor over there, who does not get a lot of love from some of the local outlets because, unlike most, he actually had the cojones to say and ask those questions that not many would. Manny was only interviewed by a Masson employee as opposed to opening a press conference to all of the media outlets so they could ask him the questions that he'd be afraid to answer. But needless to say, it's
scripted, you might say?
It was the Ray Rice press conference all over again. Except there was no cell phone and notes and blaming a woman for his transgressions. He hangs out with A-Rod, so that's almost as bad. But needless to say, it wasn't... I think something like that not only tarnishes his reputation, but that's kind of like a black eye into the Orioles rep. What do you guys think?
Did you have any idea what he said? Do you remember, top of your head?
Well, you mean the press conference-wise?
Yeah.
Vidiš, glup je, zar ne? Nije uspio da pobedi jedno najobičnije prase.
Stvarno su glupi. Ajde sad da vidimo kako su miševi pa...
Nothing? No?
Pretty sure it was about that. But it was just more of the same. I deeply regret my actions. I'm sorry to the fans, blah, 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 blah. I'm a prima donna. I mean, the kid's 21. He's going to make mistakes. When we were all 21, we were going crazy.
Sure we were.
Going nuts. And instead of being able to have fun like us, he's playing baseball every day at 20, 21 years old. But it's a growing process. Hopefully he does grow from this, which, to state, Adam Jones, Nick Markakis, and Darren O'Day all sat him down and gave him the either walk right or talk to Jesus type speech that, he really needed at a point like that. So hopefully, everything's good. I don't know. It was definitely kind of one of the darker spots that the O's have come under lately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, quick wrap-ups with Stanley Cup for any hockey fans who listen. LA Kings are beating the crap out of the New York Rangers 2-1. We all saw that coming because New York sucks. And in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs take a 2-1 lead after Game 3. They break all kinds of offensive records. In the first half alone,
and a lot of other laws. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, definitely. That's Brian's hate mail. First half alone, they shoot 75.
Walked into that one.
What else do you call it? They lob the basketball to the net.
Oh boy. Hey.
Their scoring percentage in the first half was 75.8%. The closest record to date was 75%. They end up shellacking the Heat 111-92. LeBron cried and then went to Powerade and he cramped up some more like a little woman. And so far my prediction is true. Spurs are making them look bad, and Game 4 is on this evening, so after you listen to us, go watch some basketball. Can't believe I just said that. And on that note, like the Basketball Diaries, I'm closing up. What's going on with those movies?
Wow. Mm-hmm. All kinds of stuff now that you mentioned this review. All kinds of stuff.
Do tell, Brad.
Do tell. Let's see. Oh, I do have some time. Okay. We'll start off with this. Did you guys see any movies this weekend? Now, I'm going to ask that throughout this whole summer just because there's a lot to choose from.
I swear to you, I am going to see the X-Men Days of Future Past this weekend. It's happening. I don't give a rat's patoot.
I call bull crap.
He'll like it.
No, I'll see that. I'm not going to see Tom Cruise.
What's that?
I'm not going to go see Tom Cruise. Well, if that's what
lucky for
you're
you, I did.
Yay!
Yay! I took one for the team. No, I'm just kidding. I am a big Tom Cruise fan. Actually, probably one of the bigger ones out there. I think actually, I have like at least 5 to 7 Tom Cruise movies over there, not counting the Mission Impossibles over there.
Checking.
Yeah, he's checking. Yeah. Anyway, a little movie called Edge of Tomorrow came out this weekend, boys, and let me give you the little synopsis, and I'll give you a little quick review, spoiler-free, that is, okay?
Okay.
If you saw the trailers for this film, it really felt like Oblivion Part 2.
That was kind of the vibe I was getting
It
before.
is not. I will tell everybody that right now, it is not anything like Oblivion. It is better than Oblivion. It is... I liked Oblivion, don't get me wrong, but it was just Oblivion. I wanted more out of it, I guess, in a way. And this movie. Let me go into it first. Earth is under attack by an alien species called the Mimics. Okay, so everything, I think they never said exactly when it was taking place, but I assume it's taking place in present day or a little bit more in the future.
Yeah, the near future. Let's just say.
Now, what makes this alien species so interesting is they have the unique ability to reset the day. Mm-hmm. And yes, I already know Groundhog Day is implanted in your minds.
Yep.
Okay, that is okay.
Bill
right?
F. and Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
And so what does the military do? We do what we always do best. We come up with a really cool armor suit or whatever.
The exoskeletons.
Yeah. Bradley, this is really awesome. This movie is like a video game. Yeah. And even if you're not a Tom Cruise fan, I highly suggest you go see this. But let me still get into some information. Pretty much what's going on when you go into the movie is the military is planning a big attack against the Mimics, and Tom Cruise, he's like the PR military guy, and he's not your typical Tom Cruise kind of cocky going into action scenes or whatever like you would expect. Actually, I'm going to call him out. He's pretty much a coward. He's a big pussy. Yeah. And that's what made it so interesting. It's like, okay, this isn't the Tom Cruise. They pretty much had to throw him into war or whatever and kind of trick him. They arrested him, and they knocked him out, and then he wakes up, he's on the base, and he's getting ready to go through with with what they call the J Squad. Okay, and Bill Paxton's in there for all you Bill Paxton lovers out there. If you remember all the way back,
you're listening.
If you remember all the way back to Terminator, the beginning of Terminator, when Arnold surfaced for the first time and beat up the little punk spike-haired kid, that was Bill Paxton.
This guy's couple fries short of a Happy Meal.
If you remember Aliens, he was in that as well.
We've got sisters.
Twister. All kinds of movies. And Bill Paxton is just what you want in there. He's kind of like, I don't want to say comic relief, but he's just kind of like that necessary co-star or whatever that kind of helps balance things out when necessary.
Gotcha.
Emily Blunt is in there as well. And
She's
for
like
those of you that are unfamiliar with Emily Blunt, I would go check out a movie called Looper. I believe you can still Redbox that. It's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, her, Bruce Willis. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like it kind of deals with the time travel as well there too. A different kind of time travel. But you see here, all I'm going to say is yoga pose, Emily Blunt kicking ass. Need I say more?
Okay, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she's doing, like, not to bring up Aliens, but she's kind of doing the, was it Ripley?
She's doing
Ripley.
a Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, she's doing a Sigourney Weaver, in other words. She's doing a Sarah Connor in there. That's how she's up there with those two. And that's, I mean, she's not there, but she is that, strong or whatever.
Tough, strong female.
Exactly. And you don't see that too much, really. She is not a damsel in distress.
No.
I guarantee you that, or whatever. What I did like about this is, okay, you do have the Groundhog Day, idea, but how they used it and how Doug Liman, the director, kind of set the tone for it, I really did like it. Like I said, you're seeing Tom Cruise not being Tom Cruise at the beginning. You see him kind of grow into it or whatever. You kind of see him develop, and that's what makes it, he knows what's going to happen. In other words, he's caught in a time loop, and no one else knows this. He's reliving the same day, and he's getting stronger. He's building his skills and Emily Blunt is teaching him. That is not spoiler. This is exactly what you saw in the trailers.
Yeah.
What you didn't see in the trailers is just like the aliens. The aliens kind of looked like. I've heard
monsters, right?
I've heard them compared to the Matrix Squiddies before.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
They're not quite like that, but they're different kind of aliens than I thought they were going to be. Anyway,
they're giant squids.
they were really powerful, and they were really they're really interesting. I think the CGI for this was done exceptionally well. As a matter of fact, I'm going to straight up give it a 4 out of 5. I will say this, and I have not heard anyone say this before yet. It reminds me a tad of Pacific Rim in the fact that you start off with the alien invasion. Humans have to come up with a military-style weapon, and then
work from there.
From there or whatever. But it's not Pacific Rim. It's not Oblivion. It's not a Mission Impossible movie. And everybody's saying this. It got an 89% total, I believe it was, on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics love it. However, the fans out there, the fans did see it, and everybody who's seen this movie is giving it high praise.
Okay.
Not enough people this past weekend went to go see it because of a little movie, a little kind of Nicholas Sparks wannabe called The Fault in Our Stars, topped it with over 49 million, as a matter of fact, or whatever.
So what?
I would only say one thing in that movie's defense.
What's that?
I guarantee any man who took a woman to see that,
they
got some booty.
Yeah,
that happened. But still, that's a sad state of Hollywood affairs.
And even all right, James, I told you we were going to get into this one of these days, and I was kind of waiting for this movie to come out. Okay, and Bradley, I want you to chime in here as well. Okay?
I'll try.
So, our prediction during the summer movie preview was that this movie it's not going to be what we were hoping, I guess. More or less, actually, let me rephrase this. Last week, we predicted at the end of the show that this movie, I said this movie is going to lose next to
Maleficent.
Yeah, Maleficent, which it actually did. Maleficent came in second. This came in third with 29 point whatever million or whatever.
That's low.
Tom Cruise has been around for ages. He's been around since Top Gun and movies even before that or whatever. Now, he's got that name. He's got the star power. It was a big risk for Warner Brothers to put a movie like this out there during the summer, which no one really knows except is loosely based, or it is based on the short novel All You Need Is Kill. Now, across the seas, it is making tons and tons of money.
Oh, yeah.
And Bradley's also made the comment that obviously they like the crap that we don't, or whatever.
Their movies are crap.
I'm going to say
to ours.
the opposite, that they know what's good for them, and we don't right now. And I'm also going to say that a star, an A-lister no less, not even counting Angelina Jolie, it's going to take more than that to beat somebody at the box office to get in numbers or whatever. Because obviously, Shailene Woodley, I've never really heard of her. I've never seen anything of hers. She pretty much kicked Angelina Jolie's and Tom Cruise's ass this whole weekend with a $15 million budget movie. Now, what are your thoughts on that, guys? James, you've said even with Amazing Spider-Man 2 that Jamie Foxx could bring in the money just because of his star power.
Yeah. God,
I call you on that, sir.
He brings Jamie Foxx, and then you have to walk that fine line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess in a sense, though, it's more of maybe it's also given a negative light that Tom Cruise seems to have with a lot of people.
But it's been since 2006. He didn't do anything like Mel Gibson did. He hasn't done anything. Huh?
Let's say get him to the Gringo or whatever the hell.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, just like with Mel Gibson's racial slurs or anything like that, the thing that Tom Cruise is guilty of is being a little
crazy, and then saying his job is harder than the men in the military.
That's true. Okay, well, he did say that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but
I guess I'm going not just with Tom Cruise, but I'm going with star power in general. It's going to take more than an A-list celebrity in general from now on. Doesn't matter what movie to sell out tickets.
Guess it's also going to have to depend on the type of movie.
Depends on the movie, which kind of audience you're looking for.
Do you think it's because this was a sci-fi action movie Not everybody's glued to sci-fi action. We might like it.
We might like it.
We
yeah,
like
but,
it, but you know,
I mean, like especially with the film, we're assuming obviously we go like.